Kate woke to strange sounds echoing through the jungle. The alien sun rose, casting purple light through the trees. She emerged from her shelter, alert and ready. 3 days had passed in this simulation, each day bringing new challenges. The massive creatures with transparent skin had returned several times. She had learned to avoid them. A new sound caught her attention. Something different from the usual jungle noises. Kate moved carefully toward it, pushing through glowing foliage. She froze at the edge of a clearing. Another human stood there. Samantha, the scientist. Kate stepped forward. Samantha. The scientist turned, relief washing over her face. Kate, I found you. They embraced briefly, both overwhelmed to see a familiar face in this alien world. Kate noticed Samantha had fashioned tools from materials in the jungle. A knife made from a crystalline stone, a bag woven from flexible vines. I think this is the second phase, Kate said. Cooperation. We found each other. Samantha nodded. I suspected. The survival phase must be over. She showed Kate her discoveries, including edible fruits and a map she had scratched onto a large leaf. I think there are structures to the north. Some kind of ruins. They set off together, sharing what they had learned about this world. Samantha explained the plants responded to certain frequencies of sound. Some retreated from high pitches, others opened to reveal water or nutrients stored inside. Their combined knowledge made survival easier. By midday, they heard another human voice calling out. They found Patricia, the engineer. She had built an impressive shelter near a waterfall, her engineering skills allowing her to create a water collection system and even simple weapons. One by one they found. The others, Nicole the diplomat, had befriended some small furry creatures that led her to food sources. Allison the doctor had discovered plants with medicinal properties, creating treatments for injuries and illness. The 5 women united, felt hope rising. They had passed the survival phase individually. Now they worked together, combining their skills. The diplomat fostered cooperation. The scientist analyzed their environment. The doctor kept them healthy. The engineer built tools and shelters. The soldier Kate provided protection and leadership together. They tracked the ruins Samantha had discovered. The journey took 2 days through increasingly difficult terrain. The plants grew dense and predatory. The team used Patricia's tools to clear paths. They treated injuries with Allison's medicines. They followed Samantha's map, working together as humans had always done, facing challenges with combined strength. The ruins rose from the jungle like ancient teeth, stone structures covered in glowing symbols. Some had collapsed, others stood tall against time. The women approached cautiously. This had to be part of the test. The largest structure featured a doorway covered in moving symbols. Nicole stepped forward, studying them. These look like language, patterns, she said, similar to what I observed in the alien ship. She traced patterns with her fingers. The symbols responded, glowing brighter. The door slid open, revealing darkness beyond. The 5 women looked at each other. They had come too far to turn back. Kate took the lead, stepping into the darkness. The others followed. The final phase had begun. Inside, the structure lights activated, revealing a vast chamber. At its center stood a pedestal with 5 indentations arranged in a circle around. The room's strange machines hummed with energy. Symbols covered the walls, constantly shifting and changing. Patricia examined the machines. These are generating a field of some kind, she said, pointing to readings on her makeshift sensor. Samantha studied the symbols on the walls. These represent mathematical concepts, she realized, patterns of logic. Nicole approached the pedestal. The indentations match our hands, she said. 5 humans, 5 spaces. Allison looked concerned. Is this a trap? Kate considered their options. The hegemony wanted to test human intelligence. This had to be a puzzle they needed to solve. Together, we try it, Kate decided. But be ready for anything. They positioned themselves around the pedestal, each placing a hand in an indentation. The moment they did, energy surged through the chamber. The symbols on the walls moved faster. A holographic display appeared above the pedestal, showing what looked like a star map. The intelligence test. Kate whispered. We need to understand what this Samantha studied the star map. These points represent star systems, she said. But the configurations are wrong. Some stars are missing, others are in impossible positions. Patricia noticed patterns in the energy flow. The machines are generating different frequencies, she said. They correspond to the star positions. Nicole recognized communication patterns. The symbols are changing based on our thoughts, she realized. They respond to our mental patterns. Allison saw biological structures in the display. These aren't just stars, she said. They represent neural connections. Brain patterns. Kate brought it together. It's a combination puzzle. We need to rearrange the stars to match the correct neural pattern, to show we understand both space and mind. For hours they worked together. Samantha calculated stellar positions. Patricia manipulated energy fields. Nicole interpreted symbols. Allison identified neural patterns. Kate coordinated their efforts, seeing the bigger picture. Slowly, the star map transformed. Each correction causing symbols to lock into place as the final piece aligned. The chamber filled with light. The pedestal sank into the floor. The walls became transparent, revealing they were not in ruins at all, but in a control room aboard the alien ship. The simulation had ended. The 5 aliens stood watching them. Commander Zira stepped forward. "You have completed the assessment," she said. Her voice no longer translated but understood directly in their minds. "Did we pass?" Kate asked. Standing tall before the alien, Commander Zira made a gesture with her 6-fingered hand. "Humans are unusual," she said. "Your bodies are fragile, your technology primitive, yet your minds, your adaptability, your cooperation, these exceed our predictions." The other aliens conferred among themselves, making musical sounds that seemed to form a complex language. Finally, Kayla the examiner approached. "We have studied thousands of species across the galaxy," she explained. "Most fail at survival. Many fail at cooperation. Almost all fail at intelligence test. You succeeded in all 3. Relief washed over the humans. They had passed. The Earth was safe, but there is more." Zira continued. "The way you solved problems, the speed of your adaptation, these qualities are rare. Your species has potential beyond our initial assessment." Nicole stepped forward. "What does that mean for Earth?" Zira gestured to a larger holographic display, showing the galaxy. Earth appeared as a small blue dot in one spiral arm. "The hegemony welcomes humanity," she said. "Not merely as equals, but as special interest species. You will receive knowledge, technology, protection." Kate sensed something more. "What do you want in return?" she asked. "Nothing comes without a cost." The alien commander made a sound like chiming bells. "Understanding humans learn quickly," she said. "The hegemony faces challenges, enemies that threaten all intelligent life. We need new perspectives, new solutions. Humanity thinks differently. Your species sees patterns others miss, solves problems in unexpected ways." Allison understood. "We would be problem solvers for you." "Exactly," Kayla confirmed. "Your minds work uniquely. You find solutions where others see only obstacles." Patricia looked excited at the prospect of alien technology. "The exchange seems fair," she said. "We get protection and knowledge, you get our problem-solving abilities." Samantha remained cautious. "We would need guarantees," she insisted. "Our independence must be preserved." Zira extended her hands, palms up in what seemed a universal gesture of openness. "The terms will be negotiated," she said. "But first you must return to your world. Share what you have learned. Prepare your leaders. The hegemony will send representatives in one planetary cycle." The humans looked at each other. This was more than they had hoped for. Not merely passing a test, but being valued for uniquely human qualities. Their species would join a galactic civilization, not through conquest, but through recognition of their special abilities. Kate stepped forward. "We accept the invitation to negotiate," she said formally. "We will prepare Earth for your representative." Zira made a final gesture. "The 5 of you will serve as our contacts," she said. "You have proven yourselves worthy ambassadors for humanity." The aliens escorted them back to their shuttle. The humans walked taller now. knowing they carried the future of Earth with them. They had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, not through force but through uniquely human qualities: cooperation, intelligence, adaptability, creativity. As the shuttle departed the alien vessel, Kate looked at her team with pride. "We did it," she said. "We showed them what humans can do." The journey back to Earth would be short. The future that awaited them endless with possibility. Humanity would take its place among the stars, not as conquerors, not as servants, but as valued members of a galactic community. Their minds, their greatest weapon, their adaptability, their greatest strength. The massive alien ship hung in space like a dark moon. The metal hull shimmered with strange lights as it approached Earth orbit. For weeks, the world governments had watched it come closer. Panic spread across cities as humans realized they were not alone in the universe. Aboard the Earth defense ship, valiant Captain Kate Morgan stood tall. Her blue uniform marked her as the highest-ranking officer on the vessel. She watched the alien craft through the main viewing screen while her crew worked frantically at their stations. The tension on the bridge felt thick enough to cut with a knife. "We have no choice," Kate said to her second-in-command. "We must attempt communication before they reach Earth." Orbit, her second-in-command, Olivia West, nodded in agreement. Her dark hair pulled back in a tight bun. The aliens had not responded to any signals yet. They seemed to ignore all attempts at contact. Olivia feared the worst: an invasion force beyond anything humanity could handle. Kate pressed a button on her command chair. "This is Captain Kate Morgan of the Earth Defense Force, broadcasting on all frequencies. We come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic relations. Please respond." The silence stretched for minutes. The alien ship continued, its approach unchanged. Then suddenly the communication screen flickered to life. The image that appeared made everyone on the bridge gasp. The alien was clearly female, but unlike any creature humans had ever seen. She stood over 7 feet tall with scaled skin that shimmered like opals. Her eyes, 4 of them arranged in a diamond pattern, blinked independently. Her head bore a crest of spines that moved slightly as she regarded the humans. "I am Commander Zira of the Galactic Hegemony." The alien spoke, her voice oddly musical despite the harsh translation. "Your planet has been selected for assessment." Kate stood straighter. "What kind of assessment?" The alien made a gesture with a 6-fingered hand. "Your species has reached a developmental milestone. You have harnessed atom splitting and begun space exploration. The hegemony evaluates all such species to determine their place in the galactic order." Olivia stepped forward next to Kate. "What does that mean exactly?" The alien commander tilted her head. "We will select representatives of your kind for testing. Those who pass will elevate your species status. Those who fail will result in quarantine." Kate felt a chill run down her spine. Quarantine sounded ominous. The way the alien said it implied something far worse than isolation. She looked at her crew, seeing the fear in their eyes but also determination. They were the best Earth had to offer. "We request time to consult with our world leaders," Kate said carefully. The alien made a sound like chimes. "You have 1 planetary rotation. Then we will begin selections. Comply or face immediate quarantine." The screen went black. Kate turned to her communications officer. "Send everything to Earth. Command now, we need to warn them." 12 hours later, Kate found herself aboard a shuttle headed toward the alien vessel. Earth leaders had debated frantically before making a decision. They would comply with the testing, but send their best and brightest, hoping to impress the aliens. Kate had been selected along with 4 other humans to represent Earth. The shuttle docked with the massive alien ship. The doors opened, revealing a corridor lit with blue light. Kate led her team forward. A scientist named Samantha Miller walked beside her, followed by diplomat Nicole Baker, engineer Patricia Wright, and Dr. Allison Carter. They had been chosen for their intelligence, adaptability, and courage. 3 alien females waited for them. Each towered over the humans. Their scaled skin reflected the light. In hypnotic patterns, they wore what appeared to be armor, though it seemed fused with their bodies. Kate noted they carried no visible weapons, yet radiated danger. "Welcome, humans," one said. Her voice sounded like music played on strange instruments. "I am Kayla, examiner of new species. You will follow." The humans were led through winding corridors. The ship seemed alive somehow, surfaces pulsing with light and energy. Samantha took readings on a small device, fascinated by the technology. Patricia studied everything with an engineer's eye, noting the advanced systems that powered the vessel. They arrived at a large chamber. The room contained 5 separate pods, each glowing with internal light. "These are your assessment chambers," Kayla explained. "Each of you will enter one. Your minds will be linked to the simulation. Your actions within will determine your species." Fate. Kate looked at her team, seeing determination in their faces. Whatever these tests were, they would face them for humanity. "We understand," she said. "We are ready." Kala made a gesture with her 6-fingered hand. "The assessment has 3 phases: survival, cooperation, intelligence. If you fail any phase, your species will be deemed unfit and quarantined. If you succeed, your kind will be welcomed as equals." The humans exchanged glances. They had expected tests, but not something that would determine the fate of their entire species. The pressure felt overwhelming. "You may communicate briefly before beginning," Kayla said. "Then each must enter alone." She and the other aliens stepped back. Giving them a moment, Kate gathered her team close. "Listen," she said quietly. "Whatever happens in there, remember what we stand for. Humanity has overcome every challenge in our history. We adapt. We survive, we win, we can do this." Samantha nodded. "I think these pods will create some kind of virtual reality. Use your expertise, but be ready for anything." "Nicole," the diplomat straightened her jacket. "We need to show them. Humans can be peaceful yet strong. Our history proves we can overcome our violent tendencies." Patricia clenched her fists. "Whatever technology they throw at us, I can figure it out. Humans have always mastered new tech quickly." Allison checked her medical kit one last time. "If this tests our minds, I suspect it will push us to our limits. Stay focused, remember your training." Kate looked at each woman, seeing courage in their eyes. They represented the best qualities of humanity: intelligence, creativity, compassion, determination. They would not fail. "Time has elapsed," Kayla announced. "Each of you select a chamber." Kate walked to the nearest pod. Its surface parted like water as she approached. Inside, she saw a reclined seat with strange attachments. She took a deep breath and entered. The pod sealed around her. Immediately, her mind filled with light. She felt herself falling into darkness. Then suddenly she stood in what appeared to be a dense jungle. The air felt humid. Her clothes clung to her skin. She could hear strange animal calls echoing through the trees. The survival phase had begun. Kate examined her surroundings. The jungle seemed Earth-like, yet wrong somehow. The plants glowed faintly with bioluminescence. The trees twisted in impossible shapes. She checked herself and found she had no equipment except the uniform she wore. She began to move carefully through the underbrush. Her military training kept her alert to any dangers. The ground sloped upward, and she decided to climb to higher ground for a better view. As she climbed, she noticed the plants reacting to her touch, shrinking away or reaching toward her. She avoided the reaching ones instinctively. At the top of the ridge, Kate gasped. The landscape spread before her was alien and beautiful. Flying creatures, with multiple wings, soared through the sky. Bodies of water glowed with internal light. Mountains in the distance seemed to shift and move, as if breathing. Movement caught her eye. Something large was approaching through the jungle. Its footsteps shook. The ground Kate quickly found cover, watching as a massive creature emerged from the trees. It resembled an earth elephant, but with 6 legs and a transparent skin that revealed its internal organs. The creature stopped near her hiding place, seeming to sense her presence. Kate remained perfectly still, controlling her breathing. The creature trumpeted a strange call, then continued on its way. She waited until it disappeared, then continued her exploration. She needed to find water, shelter, and possibly food to survive. As the alien sun began to set, Kate had constructed a basic shelter using fallen branches and large leaves. She had found a stream with clear water that her instincts told her might be safe. She tested it, with a small sip. Nothing happened, so she drank more. The water tasted sweet and refreshing. In the growing darkness, the jungle became more active. Lights pulsed among the trees. Sounds echoed from all directions. Kate reinforced her shelter, preparing for whatever might come. The first phase was clearly testing her ability to survive in an alien environment. She would show these aliens what humans were made of. As night fell completely, the temperature dropped rapidly. Kate gathered plant material for insulation. The glowing plants provided enough light to see. She remained vigilant, knowing the test had only just begun. The fate of humanity rested on her performance and that of her teammates. The thought strengthened her resolve. Kate Morgan had never backed down from a challenge, and she would not start now, even if it meant facing the unknown terrors of an alien world. The testing had begun, and humanity would prove its worth among the stars. Earth changed rapidly in the months following first contact. The news that aliens existed and had chosen humans as special partners sparked global transformation. Old conflicts seemed petty in the face of galactic citizenship. Nations united under a single banner for the first time in human history. The Earth Unified Council. Kate Morgan and her team became worldwide heroes. Their faces appeared on screens around the globe. Their story inspired millions. Today marked one planetary cycle since their test. The hegemony representatives would arrive. Kate stood on the platform constructed specially for this moment, a vast open area outside the newly built Galactic Embassy. The sky was clear blue, perfect for the arrival. Beside her stood her team, now the official Earth First Contact Division. Samantha, Patricia, Nicole, and Allison had spent months preparing for this day. Crowds gathered behind barriers stretching for miles. People from every nation had come to witness history. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement and nervous energy. Security forces maintained order, but everyone felt the significance of the moment. A murmur rippled through the crowd as shadows appeared in the sky. 3 vessels descended slowly, unlike the massive ship from before. These were smaller, more elegant. Their hulls shimmered with colors that seemed impossible, changing moment by moment. They landed with perfect precision on the 3 circular pads constructed for them. Kate straightened her new uniform. The Earth Unified Council had created a special design for the First Contact Division, blue and silver, with a symbol combining Earth and stars. She felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. This was the true beginning of humanity's galactic journey. The vessels opened simultaneously. Ramps extended, touching Earth soil. 3 figures emerged from each ship, 9 aliens in total. Kate recognized Commander Zira, leading the central group. The alien stood tall, her scaled skin catching sunlight. Her 4 eyes surveyed the scene, taking in the massive human crowd. Kate stepped forward as practiced, extending her hands, palms up in the gesture of peace they had learned. Commander Zira. "We welcome you to Earth." Zira mimicked the gesture, though her 6 fingers made it look alien. "Welcome, humans. The hegemony honors this historic occasion." Her voice carried across the gathering, translated through devices developed using the initial technology packages the aliens had shared. The crowd remained silent, awestruck by the presence of real aliens walking on Earth soil. Many had doubted despite the evidence. Now none could deny the reality of galactic civilization. The 9 aliens followed Kate and her team into the embassy building. A structure combining human architecture with alien concepts gifted by the hegemony. Inside a vast circular chamber awaited them. The Earth Unified Council representatives from every nation stood as they entered. The formal proceedings began. Speeches, welcomes, the reading of proposed agreements the humans had prepared for months, studying the information packets sent ahead by the hegemony, learning about the structure of galactic politics, the various species that formed the hegemony, the threats they faced. Zira spoke to the assembled leaders. "The hegemony welcomes Earth as our newest special interest world. You join 37 other species granted this status, each bringing unique qualities to our collective. Your adaptability, your problem-solving abilities, these are why we sought you out." Nicole, the diplomat, stepped forward to present the human response. Our world has known division for most of our history, she said. Yet we have always dreamed of the stars. Now we stand united, ready to join. You as partners, we offer our creativity, our determination, our unique perspective. The ceremony continued for hours. Formal agreements were signed. Technology exchange protocols established. Educational programs outlined. Earth would receive knowledge, in carefully measured amounts, preventing cultural shock. The hegemony would receive human assistance with specific problems requiring creative solutions. As the formal proceedings ended, a more private meeting began. Kate and her team joined Zira and her closest advisors in a smaller chamber. This was where the real discussions would happen. Now that the public ceremony is complete, Zira said, we must speak of more urgent matters. The reason the hegemony sought Earth specifically, Kate felt tension rise in the room. What matters? Zira activated a holographic display showing a vast region of space marked in pulsing red. The Void Hunters, she said. They consume everything in their path. Dozens of civilizations have fallen. No species has found an effective defense. They approach hegemony space. The humans studied the display with growing concern. These Void Hunters were clearly the threat Zira had mentioned during their testing, the enemies that threatened all intelligent life. How does this involve Earth specifically? Samantha asked. Zira touched the display, zooming to show strange, shapeless entities. Their forms seemed to shift constantly, making them hard to focus on. They defy understanding. She explained, our scientists cannot comprehend their nature. Our weapons pass through them. Their technology surpasses our own. They seem to exist partially outside normal space. Patricia leaned closer. Studying the entities, we know nothing about them yet. The hegemony has studied them for centuries. Zira said, we know they consume energy in all forms, including life force. They leave nothing behind. Their origins remain unknown. Their motives, if they have any, incomprehensible. Allison looked troubled. How many have they killed? Zira made a somber gesture. Billions, entire species, erased worlds stripped to barren rock. The Void Hunters do not communicate, do not negotiate. They only consume. Kate understood now why Earth had been sought out. You need a new perspective, a different way of thinking. Exactly, Zira confirmed. Our greatest minds have failed to find solutions. We hope humans with your unique thought patterns might see what we cannot. Nicole the diplomat considered the implications. This is more than we expected, she said cautiously. You're asking us to help fight an enemy that has defeated civilizations thousands of years more advanced than our own. Zira's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. It is much to ask, she acknowledged, but the alternative is worse. The Void Hunters will reach your region of space eventually. With or without hegemony protection, Earth would fall. The humans exchanged glances. This changed everything. They had expected cultural exchange, technology sharing, peaceful cooperation. Now they faced an existential threat, not just to Earth but to all intelligent life. Kate made a decision. We need everything you know about these Void Hunters, all data, all observations, all failed attempts at communication or defense. Our scientists will need complete access. Zira signaled. Agreement. The information packets are prepared. But I must warn you, the data itself seems affected by the Void Hunters. Many who study them too closely report nightmares, mental disturbances. Proceed with caution. The meeting continued late into the night. The humans learning the true scale of the threat. The hegemony had kept this information from public ceremonies to prevent panic. But now Kate and her team understood their real purpose. Earth had not been chosen merely for cultural exchange, but as a last hope against an incomprehensible enemy. When they finally emerged from the embassy, night had fallen. The crowd had dispersed, leaving the area quiet under starlight. Kate looked up at those stars, seeing them differently now. They were not just points of light, but homes to countless civilizations, all under threat. Her team gathered around her, their expressions serious, their minds processing the enormous responsibility placed upon humanity. "We have one advantage," Kate said, breaking the silence. "We know nothing, which means we have no preconceptions. Sometimes the greatest discoveries come from those with fresh eyes." Samantha nodded. "The greatest scientific breakthroughs often come from outsiders. People who aren't limited by established thinking," Patricia added. "We have a saying. Sometimes you need to think outside the box. Maybe that's why they chose us. Humans are good at finding unconventional solutions." Nicole looked thoughtful. "These void hunters have never encountered humans before. They wouldn't know what to expect from us that gives us something." Allison summed it up. "We're being asked to save the galaxy," she said. "A year ago, we didn't even know aliens existed. Now we're their best hope." Kate smiled grimly. Humanity had faced extinction. Many times throughout history, they had overcome impossible odds through creativity, determination, and adaptability. Now those qualities would be tested on a galactic scale. "We begin tomorrow," she said. "First we understand the enemy. Then we find their weakness. Everything has a weakness. The fate of Earth and countless other worlds depends on us finding it as they walk toward their quarters." Kate felt the weight and the honor of their position. Humanity would face its greatest challenge, not on Earth but among the stars, and they would face it together as humans always had. Against all odds, they would find a way. They always did. 6 months passed. Earth transformed rapidly. Hegemony technology elevated human science centuries beyond its previous level. Cities grew upward and downward. Space became accessible to ordinary people. Diseases that once plagued humanity vanished. Medical science revolutionized overnight. But these advances came with purpose, preparation. The Earth Defense Research Center sprawled across what had once been a desert. Now it hummed with activity. The best minds from around the world worked tirelessly, studying the void hunters. At its heart stood the command center where Kate and her team coordinated global efforts. Kate stared at the holographic display. Thousands of data points swirled around her, representing every known encounter with the void hunters. The aliens had shared everything as promised, but understanding remained elusive. The entities defied conventional analysis. Samantha entered the room carrying new reports. Her eyes showed fatigue, but also excitement. "Kate, we found something." The team gathered quickly. Samantha activated a secondary display. "When we examine void hunter appearances across different star systems, we see what looks like random distribution," she explained. "But applying human pattern recognition algorithms, we found this." The display showed what looked like a spiral pattern connecting void hunter sightings. Nicole leaned closer. "That almost looks like a feeding pattern," Samantha confirmed. "They aren't moving randomly. They're following specific energy signatures." Patricia studied the pattern. "This could help us predict their movements, where they'll strike next." Allison pointed to specific points along the spiral. "Those systems that survived encounters." "What made them different?" Samantha highlighted several star systems. "These worlds had unique energy signatures. Something about their core composition seems to repel the hunters. We still don't understand the mechanism, but it's a start." Kate felt a surge of hope. Their first real breakthrough after months of study. This was why the hegemony had sought human help. Humans saw patterns others missed. Their minds made connections alien intelligence overlooked. A communication alert sounded. Commander Zira appeared on the main screen, her scaled face showing what the humans had learned to recognize as urgency. "Kate Morgan, the void hunters have changed course. They approach a populated system, Trellix 9. We need your team immediately." Zira sent coordinates. The hegemony vessel Swift Light would arrive within hours to transport the human team. Kate issued orders quickly. They had prepared for this moment, their first chance to observe the void hunters directly. The ship arrived as promised, its technology far beyond anything Earth could create. The human team boarded, bringing equipment specially designed to study the hunters. Kate felt tension and excitement as the vessel accelerated beyond light speed. The stars stretched and blurred around them. Commander Zira greeted them aboard the command deck. Her 4 eyes blinking in sequence. You come at a crucial moment. The hunters have never changed course so abruptly before. Something about Trellix 9 attracts them. We must discover what. The journey took days, even at faster than light speeds the humans used, the time to prepare their equipment and review data. Trellix 9 was home to a peaceful species called the Moran philosophers and artists, who had joined the hegemony centuries ago. Their world known for its beauty and cultural achievements. When they arrived, the system appeared peaceful at first. The green-blue world of Trellix 9 orbited its sun undisturbed, but long-range sensors detected disturbances at the edge of the system, dark shapes moving against the stars, void hunters. The swift light maintained distance, observing through advanced sensors. Kate watched the main screen as the entities appeared, shifting formless masses darker than space itself. They moved with purpose toward the planet. Samantha recorded everything. Our sensors are picking up unusual energy patterns, she reported. They seem to bend reality around them, creating distortions in space. Time. Patricia monitored power systems aboard the ship. The ship's energy reserves are fluctuating. She noted, they affect technology. Even at this distance, Nicole listened to communication channels. The Moran are evacuating major cities. She reported hegemony protocols activated, but evacuation is only 30% complete. Kate turned to Zira. How long before they reach the planet? The alien commander made a grim gesture. Hours, perhaps less. Their speed increases. The swift light can offer limited defense, but against so many. Allison suddenly called out, "Look at the scanner. See how they move." The team gathered around her display. The void hunters moved in complex patterns, shifting position constantly, except they avoid certain areas. Allison pointed out. Specifically, these mineral-rich asteroids. They won't go near them. Zira studied the display with all four eyes. Those contain high concentrations of trellium, a rare element. The Moran use it for art, not technology. We never considered it. Significant. Kate felt pieces connecting. The pattern from Earth. The worlds that survived void hunter attacks. Could this element be present on those worlds too? Samantha checked data rapidly. Yes, she confirmed those systems that repelled hunters all show traces of trellium or similar elements in their composition. It creates a unique energy signature. One the hunters avoid. Patricia turned to the ship's engineers. Could we synthesize this element? Create a barrier. The alien engineers consulted their databases. Trellium can be synthesized, they confirmed, but the process requires time, resources. We don't have. Kate made a decision. We don't need to synthesize it. The asteroid field contains natural deposits. We use what we have. She outlined a plan quickly. Collect asteroids, rich in trellium. Create a defensive line between the hunters and the planet Zira. Considered the plan. The swift light cannot move such masses alone. Patricia studied the ship's specifications, but it could tow smaller pieces. Use tractor technology to position them strategically. Not a solid barrier, but a net. A web of trellium that the hunters would have to navigate. The plan took shape rapidly. The swift light deployed smaller vessels. Each selected asteroids rich in trellium. Using tractor technology, they positioned them in the hunter's path. Kate directed operations from the command deck. The human team coordinated with alien engineers, forming an unlikely defense for Trellix 9 hours, passed in frantic activity. The evacuation continued on the planet below, but too slowly. The hunters approached faster than expected, their shapes becoming clearer on sensors. Their reality-bending effects growing stronger. The defensive net took form, a scattered line of asteroids positioned between planet and hunters, not solid enough to stop them completely, but designed to slow their advance. By time for the evacuation. The moment of truth arrived. The lead hunters reached the first asteroids. Kate held her breath watching. The entities paused. They seemed to test the barrier, sensing the trellium. Then incredibly they began to move around the asteroids. Not through them as they did with other matter, but around it works, Kate whispered. They avoid the trellium. But the victory was short-lived. The hunters adapted quickly, finding paths between asteroids. The net was too sparse, too hastily constructed. Some hunters broke through, continuing toward the planet. Zira observed grimly. We have slowed them, not stopped them. The evacuation needs more time. Kate studied the tactical display, thinking rapidly. The hunters avoided the element, but why? What about? It repelled them. This was the key to understanding their weakness. An idea formed. Remember how they bend space around them, she said to her team. What if the Trellium stabilizes space somehow? Prevents their distortion effect? Samantha nodded excitedly. That would explain the energy readings. The Trellium creates a stable pocket in space-time. The hunters can't exist within it. Patricia turned to the ship's engineers. Can your weapon systems deliver Trellium directly to the hunters, break it down to particle form and fire it at them? The alien engineers looked uncertain. Such a modification has never been attempted. Then we attempt it now. Kate said, this is why humans were brought into this fight. Our ability to improvise. The engineers worked quickly, modifying the ship's defensive systems. While they worked, the first hunters reached the upper atmosphere of Trellix 9, their presence causing storms, distortions, atmospheric chaos. The evacuation continued below, millions of Morans still waiting for transport. The modified weapons came online. Patricia took control, targeting the lead hunter. The weapons fired. Not energy beams, but streams of Trellium particles delivered directly into the hunter's mass. The effect was immediate. The hunter seemed to convulse, its formless shape contracting. Then impossibly it solidified, taking physical form for the first time. A crystalline structure, beautiful and alien, before shattering into countless pieces. The command deck fell silent, then erupted in activity. Zira gave orders to target all hunters with the modified weapons. The swift light moved into attack position, firing Trellium streams at each entity. The results repeated. Hunter after hunter forced into physical form, then destroyed. Kate watched in amazement. We didn't just find their weakness, she realized. We found their true nature. They exist as distortions in reality. The Trellium forces them to materialize, makes them vulnerable. The battle continued for hours, the swift light and its smaller vessels delivering Trellium to each hunter on the planet below. The evacuation completed. The Morans saved from what had seemed certain destruction. 1 year after the battle at Trellix 9, the Galactic Hegemony Grand Council convened on their ancient homeworld Zeralia. The massive chamber, built from living crystal, housed representatives from hundreds of world species that had evolved across countless different environments, gathered in unity. Floating gas beings, crystalline entities, tentacled philosophers, and many more. At the center of attention stood 5 humans. Kate Morgan and her team had been summoned to receive the highest honor. The hegemony could bestow the Chamber of Eternal Memory, would preserve their achievement forever. The Grand Matriarch of the hegemony rose from her crystal throne, her scaled body larger than Commander Xeris, her crest more elaborate, signifying thousands of years of wisdom. Her voice resonated through the chamber. Today we honor those who changed the course of galactic history, the humans of Earth who discovered what we could not. The weakness of our ancient enemy. Kate stepped forward, feeling small among these ancient beings, yet proud of what humanity had accomplished. The discovery at Trellix 9 had led to a revolution in void hunter defense. Trellium weapons now protected countless worlds. The hunters retreated to the farthest reaches of known space. Honored Matriarch Kate said, "We accept this recognition not for ourselves but for all humanity. Our achievement belongs to the unique perspective all humans share. The ability to see patterns where others see chaos, to find solutions where others see only problems." The Grand Matriarch extended her 6-fingered hands in blessing. "Your kind has earned more than honors. You have earned a place among the founding species. Those who shape the future of our collective." Murmurs spread through the chamber. The founding species held special status within the hegemony. The original 9 civilizations that had formed the Galactic Alliance. No new member had been elevated to their ranks in 50,000 years. Commander Xeris stepped forward, presenting 5 crystal medallions to the humans. "These connect you to the Chamber of Eternal Memory," she explained. Your experiences, your knowledge will be preserved for all time. Future generations across the galaxy will learn from human wisdom. The ceremony continued for hours, each founding species presenting gifts and honors to the humans. Kate accepted each with diplomatic grace, though her mind remained focused on the future. The Void Hunters had retreated, but not been defeated. The war had only begun. When the formal proceedings ended, the humans were escorted to private chambers. The real discussions would begin now. The Grand Council of the founding species awaited them. No ceremonial honors here, but strategic planning. The council chamber was smaller, more practical. The 9 original founding species representatives sat in a circle. Kate recognized some from historical records. Others remained mysterious, their forms defying human understanding. The eldest member, a being of pure energy contained in an ancient mechanical shell, spoke first. The Void Hunters retreat but gather strength. They will return. We must prepare. The human discovery gives us weapons, but we need more. We need understanding. Samantha stepped forward. Since our discovery at Trellix 9, we have continued research, she explained. We believe the hunters aren't simply avoiding Trellium. They physically cannot exist in its presence. The element stabilizes reality. They require reality distortion to maintain their form. Patricia activated a holographic display showing molecular structures. We can synthesize Trellium now, she said, more efficiently than natural formation. But our latest discovery is more significant. We found similar elements that produce the same effect. Different combinations create stronger stability fields. Nicole addressed the diplomatic concerns. 37 worlds now have planetary defense grids, she reported. The refugee crisis from outer systems has stabilized hegemony. Resources can be redirected to offensive capabilities. Allison presented medical data. The mental effects of hunter exposure can be treated now, she said. The nightmares, the psychological trauma. The Trellium compounds seem to heal the damage to neural pathways. The council listened, absorbing the human reports. When they finished, the Grand Matriarch spoke. The humans have exceeded expectations. Their elevation to founding status is justified. But there is more they must know. The truth about the Void Hunters. Their origin. Kate felt tension in the chamber. What truth? The eldest council member dimmed slightly. We created them. The original founding species. In our quest for knowledge, we breached barriers between dimensions. The hunters are not from this reality. They escaped through our arrogance. We have fought our own mistake for eons. Silence fell. The humans exchanged glances. This changed everything. Kate processed the revelation. So the hunters aren't invaders. They're dimensional refugees. The Grand Matriarch's crest flattened, and what Kate had learned was an expression of shame. They are more than refugees. They are weapons designed to explore other dimensions, to prepare them for our expansion. We created predators without conscience, without limits. When they turned against us, we could not control them. Nicole. The diplomat understood the implications. You've been fighting a war of containment, not elimination. You're responsible for them. A crystalline council member chimed softly. We sought to contain our mistake. Yes, for thousands of generations we fought to keep them from consuming all life, never finding a way to undo our creation, until humans discovered Trellium. Samantha realized the connection. Trellium doesn't just stabilize space. It seals the dimensional breaches. The hunters used to maintain their form. The eldest council member brightened. You understand quickly. Yes, the element was always in our worlds. Our senses evolved alongside it. We never recognized its significance. It was too common, too unremarkable to us. The cosmic equivalent of air to your kind. Kate felt pieces connecting. The hegemony hadn't just sought human help against the hunters. They had sought absolution, redemption from an ancient sin through humans. They had found a way to correct their greatest mistake. What do you propose now? Kate asked directly. The Grand Matriarch rose to her full height. We propose a final solution to our ancient mistake. The Trellium discovery makes possible what was never before achievable: a weapon to close all dimensional breaches, to force all hunters into material form, To end the threat forever, Patricia studied the technical specifications they provided. This would require enormous energy, resources beyond anything. We've worked with the council members' indicated agreement. The weapon must be deployed at the hunter's origin point, the dimensional tear where they first entered our reality. A place we have guarded for 50,000 years, allowing none to approach. Allison looked concerned. The psychological impact of such a mission. The crew would face the highest concentration of hunters in the galaxy. Zira, who had remained silent until now, stepped forward. The mission requires a human perspective, the ability to adapt, to see patterns, to solve problems as they arise. The hegemony proposes a joint mission. Our technology, human direction. Kate understood what was being asked. The humans would lead a mission to the heart of Void, Hunter territory, to deploy a weapon that would end a 50,000-year war. To correct a mistake made before human civilization began, she looked at her team, seeing determination in their eyes. This was why humanity had been sought out. Not just for the Trellium discovery, but for this final mission. Humans would help the founding species atone for their greatest sin. We accept, Kate said, but we need complete transparency. No more hidden truths. If we're to risk human lives, we need to know everything. The Grand Matriarch made a gesture of agreement. So be it. The Founding Council will share all knowledge. No secrets, no restrictions. The fate of all life in this galaxy now rests partly in human hands. The plans took shape quickly. A specially designed vessel, the Redemption, would carry the weapon to the dimensional breach. The human team would command the mission, selecting crew from both Earth and hegemony worlds. The weapon itself, combining Trellium technology with the Founders' ancient knowledge. As the council session ended, Kate stood at a viewing platform overlooking the hegemony capital. The alien city stretched to the horizon, structures built over thousands of years by hundreds of species united in cooperation. Despite their differences, Zira joined her on the platform. The commander had become a friend over the past year, their species so different yet finding common ground. You understand now, she said quietly, why we sought Earth specifically. Not just for the hunters. Kate nodded. We represent something. You lost hope, creativity. The ability to see with fresh eyes. Zira made a gesture of affirmation. The founding species are ancient, their wisdom vast. But with age comes rigidity, fixed patterns. They created marvels, but also catastrophe. They need humanity to remember what it means to see the universe with wonder, to question, to imagine. Kate watched distant ships moving through the alien sky. In just 2 years, humanity had gone from isolation to a central role in galactic affairs, not through conquest or technology, but through their unique perspective, their adaptability, their determination, qualities that had defined humans throughout their history. The mission ahead would test those qualities. The dimensional breach lay in the darkest region of the galaxy, the highest concentration of void hunters, the greatest danger, but also the greatest opportunity to end a threat that had plagued countless worlds, to help the hegemony heal an ancient wound.